I have used the term render and rendering several times so far, but what does that mean? A render is a drawing. Max considers and combines the geometry, textures, lights, and other factors to create the image or render. If we are making a video, then Max creates 30 images for every second of animation. The images are then assembled in a video editing program. If not already open, open your file from the last video. Save your file as introduction, first initial, last name 006. The teapot icons in the main toolbar all have to do with rendering. The icon of the teapot and gear gives access to the Render Setup tab. Max ships with several different render engines. We will be using two different render engines, the Quicksilver and the Scanline Renderer. Both engines have their strengths and weaknesses. This week, we will be using the Quicksilver engine. Change the production render engine to the Quicksilver engine. There are three tabs: Common, Renderer, and Render Elements. The Common tab has basic parameters that are common to most render engines. We'll begin at the top. The Time Output window controls what frames will be rendered. For now, we will be rendering out several single images from different angles in the scene, so we tick the box next to Single. The options below, Active Time Segment and Range, are for when we begin to render animations. The area to render is set to View by default. This means that the active viewport will be rendered. The active viewport is indicated by the yellow highlight around the border of the viewport. Below that is the output size. Here is where we determine the resolution of the images Max will create. For this class, you will be rendering out images at a resolution of 1920 by 1080. Click the drop-down that reads Custom, then choose High Definition, then select 1920 by 1080. Skipping down to the render output, this is where we tell Max what kind of file and where to save the file. If you set up the project folder, it should default to the render output folder. Click Files in the Save As Type drop-down, choose JPEG. Name your file with your last name, first initial, and the project name. Click Save. In the Renderer tab, there are options for the quality and style of the render. Quicksilver is an iterative rendering engine, meaning it renders the scene over and over, each time improving the image. The render duration per frame window controls how long the image will render for, such as 1 minute or 5 minutes. The longer the time, the better the quality. The more iterations it renders, the longer it will take, but the quality will be better. Visual Style and Appearance contains various rendering styles such as graphite or clay, as well as adding edged faces to the objects. Once you have set up what you wish to render and told Max where to save the file, you are now ready to render. Click the Render button and watch Max create the image that is the result of your work.